Good. Here we go. What are you going to teach us today, David?
We are going to talk about hooks, titles, and ideas.
Okay, great.
Writing a song, why they're important. A lot of people sit down and they write a song, and when I first started writing songs, you know, learning how to write a song, I did what everybody does. Just sat down and wrote as many ideas as I could. Sit down at the piano, try to hammer out melodies and things like that.
Okay.
One of the most important things about writing a song is coming up with a great idea and not just settling for the first thing that you come up with. Everybody has ideas, everybody has hooks, everybody has inspirations, but really thinking about those, what you're writing about, thinking about, is this a good idea, is this something that somebody would really want to listen to, is this interesting?
I see what you mean. Yeah.
And not just settling for the first thought that passes through your brain, because maybe it is a good one, maybe it's something that you should write about, but a lot of times maybe it's not, or maybe the first thing that you think of is really just an idea to a better idea. And
right. The first step maybe for something that leads to something else.
It might lead you into something that's stronger than what you're thinking about. So that kind of brings us to hooks and titles.
Okay.
A title can be a hook. Music can be a hook. You know, there's so many things that can be hooks. But the title is important, and just for the sake of talking about titles, I have brought up this. This is a top 40 chart.
Okay.
And as we see, most of these titles, some of them are rehashes that have been used over and over and over again. So if you come up with a title and it's something that's already been used, that's not going to be a problem. That actually might be a good thing.
Show me one of those. And,
okay.
And the good thing is that it's already imprinted in your brain, right? You've heard it before, and people automatically know it.
Right, right. Now this is a top 40 chart, but whether you do pop music, whether you do country music, Christian music, the principles are still the same. The music may be a little bit different, but the ideas, the hooks, and stuff like that. So the stuff we're going to talk about would apply to any of these. Okay, One More Night, Maroon 5 is the group, and One More Night was also a hit song for Phil Collins back in the 80s. He had a song called One More Night. Now, I don't know how many other times One More Night's been used. Probably a lot of times it's been used.
Okay.
As Long As You Love Me, a title that's been used a lot of times. It works.
Wow. So you can't really copyright a title, is that what you're saying?
That is correct.
Okay.
You can't copyright a title.
Great.
So using a title that's familiar, that's something that's done quite a bit. It's not something that you should worry about if your title is the same as somebody else's.
Right.
Back to these titles. A good title is usually not very long.
What about that Va Va Voom?
Va Va Voom. That's an interesting title because you don't know what it's going to be about.
It's very catchy too.
Yeah. It's very rhythmic. You don't know what it's going to be about, so you really have to listen for it. Okay, here's one-word titles. I've always liked one-word titles. There's a lot of hit songs with one-word titles.
Like,
Try.
Really? Huh.
Home. We've heard that title before.
One.
That's been used lots of times.
I Cry.
Lights. That's another one that's been used before.
Really? Wow.
Whistle. And then most of these others. Now, with the exception of with Taylor Swift, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together, which is a very, very long title, and it worked and it's a very successful song, but most of the time you don't see that titles that are that long. Most of the time, if you go, a lot of times if I have a title and it's longer than 5 words, I'll cut it down. So see, the 3 words, 2 words, 2 words, 2 words.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1, 4. So you can see that in the top 40, there's very few songs that have long titles. Most of them don't have more than 3 words.
Boy, that is good to know. I'll tell you, that's like a very important thing, the title.
So, and like I say, everything we talk about and everything we discuss on these lessons is subject to another rule. So anything doesn't always work out that way.
Right.
You have to still go with what you think is best. I'm not completely a formula guy, but I want to talk about the formulas also, because it's like if you go, sometimes if you know what's inside the box, it's easier to go outside the box.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love that.
You know the structure,
yeah.
Then it's easier to freelance. So it's like knowing what goes on in the music business may also help you if you go outside the box.
That's great.
So now I do have to show you this one.
Okay.
This is,
what do we got here?
This is, I'm going to toot my own horn for a minute here. This is Christy Angeletti and Powerful.
Wait,
and
where are we at here?
Right
oh,
here.
Up here.
At
number 56?
At number 56, and that's a song that I produced and played keyboards and sang backup on. So.
Wow, really?
So I do have to.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that, folks. David's vocals are awesome. There is so much timbre in his voice. I love to have him on my songs.
And I didn't pay her to say any of that. I mean,
it's the truth. I've told him I want him on more of my songs. It's the truth. So you're working with somebody who's been in the trenches and done some really successful things with artists, and among many, many other things that you will learn when you stay tuned to NashvilleInsiderSecrets.com. Thank you, David.
Thank you.